Adopt resolution 2321 establishing April 18th, 2023 at 12 p.m. as a public hearing to vacate a 25-foot utility and drainage easement on parcel A in Lamar's Industrial Park South Edition. May I have a roll call, please?
Goodchild,
Yes.
Wick,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Donlin,
Yes.
Bruns.
Yes.
Motion carried. Move on to discussion. Jason?
Okay, we all heard Easter egg hunt got moved, so that's this Saturday instead of last Saturday.
Just the site, not, or just the date, not the site, right?
Yes. We did have our alley, I don't know if I mentioned that last time, alley pre-construction meeting. So that is gonna get started by the end of this month. So what will happen, the contractor was gonna start May 1st. But it may get pushed up a week because Premier, as part of this project, needs to lower their service lines to each of those, their service drops. So that's gonna take them some time, about a week, they predict. So Cody is willing to get in there a week earlier and tear it out, allow Premier to do their stuff, and then he'll come back in. Okay? So that'll happen in both of those alleys. Premier will have to do that. So by the end of the month, he anticipates each block taking about 3 weeks each. So new letters I sent out to the property owners, making them aware of the known schedule. So
Does Premier do the communication about the interruption of their service to people along that way?
they should. I don't know if it's gonna get interrupted.
I haven't received anything.
I mean, if they're lowering, it makes sense, there will be, but it would be their responsibility to tell their customers that, hey, you're gonna be out for 3 hours or whatever.
And because of the medical record system at the dialysis clinic, I want us to be
Proactive.
cognizant of that, proactive is a good word. In case that's gonna be something they rely on, or maybe they can schedule it on a Tuesday or Thursday when they're not doing dialysis. Those kind of things could be worked out.
Or maybe it doesn't even require a cut of service and.
Maybe.
Whatever they're doing.
I can
I don't want to
find-
surprise them, not
You know, right. I would too.
I'll find out.
Thank you.
See, UV project, still on schedule. You can actually see some stuff if you go out there now. They're gonna start framing, one of the buildings soon, and then, start working on the other building, start the footings on that, so. And then, I wanted to bring up something we talked about during, budgets. Brad had the resurfacing of tennis courts in his initial request. By the time we got through committee and the budget workshop, we took out the money for the Westmore tennis courts. But what I assumed, and that's what I want clarification on, is those will eventually disappear. Am I correct in that? So I can start moving on, getting them gone, or we want to keep them?
I suppose it depends on what eventually means.
Well, it was also brought up that if we're gonna have them, let's keep them in good repair. Right. So, it is one of five's opinion that they should disappear. We have a nice facility out at the golf course, and I know I'm gonna get flack from this, but it is my opinion those should disappear. They come up all the time. And from what I'm told, I don't sit down there and count, but from what I'm told, they're basically a private court for a few people. So this town is always screaming for more building lots, places to build. It is my opinion, we do not redo those. I can still be out for more discussion, but
Does one of our committees have cognizance over such things, parks and such?
Yeah, it's probably years.
Community services, what I would say, Mike, but I know it's been discussed many, many years, but
But I didn't, well, here I haven't had it.
I would agree with Clark though, that I think we don't need them. Not worth spending money on.
Well, what I wouldn't wanna see is that if we just say we're not gonna do anything with them, then time goes by and they are discarded, but they're maybe a hazard, at some point you just gotta tear them out.
Yeah, so here's how it went through. I mean, so the recommendation was in Brad's budget as submitted to the committee.
To which committee?
community services,
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like a 40.
it was taken out in committee.
And at what price tag, 20 or 40, I can't remember.
100, almost 109,000.
For that
Oh,
court?
sorry,
No, I
sorry.
was gonna say no way.
Wrong one. I'm on the wrong line. It was 98,400 in Brad's submittal. After committee, it was reduced to 40,000.
Okay.
And then at the workshop, it was taken out completely.
I understand the school system uses those courts like
I-
today.
I spoke to Superintendent Webner and made him aware that it was taken out of our budget to review those. So he's aware of it. His only request is that they stay there until this current tennis season is done.
Tell what?
Till
Until the current
tennis
tennis
season is done.
season is done.
Gotcha.
So they're turning, because they
For the
use it
school.
for one term, is what I understand,
Yeah,
maybe some practice.
and just to keep him informed,
Absolutely.
so,
And we've done that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to proceed. It'd be taken out by our staff, would take it out.
The tennis season is over in.
Well, we'd wait till school's
June
done.
1st, whatever.
Yeah, we'd wait till school's out.
Gotcha.
Can those chain link fences be used by our little league? Who's
I-
talking about needing some new chain link? I don't know how that stuff works.
Yeah, I think they replaced all their backstops, so.
Oh, did they? Did they?
But I haven't had any discussion with Brad on what can be salvaged up there.
How many lots is that? Would it be two? Or one big one?
It'd probably just be one larger one.
So what are you imagining? I mean, you and I aren't on this
I
committee,
know,
but I'm interested in what, if we take it out, what is it gonna become?
well, I mean, we're building.
We're just gonna grade
multi-
it, we're just gonna grade it and seed it for now.
Right.
So it's gonna be green space just sitting there.
Well, could.
For now.
Unless we decide as a city to,
Sell it.
do we wanna sell it?
Well, I say let's sell it at a reduced price and let a developer come in and take it out and put multifamily dwelling in there, or whatever, condo or whatever, Vision Builders, Brown, whoever. At a discounted price, you got a lot, you're screaming for apartments. So I say we don't do anything, maybe we decide if we wanna sell it and we sell it. And they have to deal with the demolition, lot preparation.
think
I don't know.
I would probably, if we're not gonna fix it, I think we should just tear it out. And then, maybe wait a little bit on the decision
Okay.
of what to do with the lot.
Mark, is a space like that too small to be just folded into the discussions we're having on the overall community development?
Probably, we just gotta decide whether we want it multifamily or single family.
Excuse me, your answer confused me to your question.
So,
Is the lot too small to?
so what he wants to do is include it in the master plan for the entire community. We could, it'd be a dot on the map, but I'm thinking if you offered that for sale, we'd probably get it sold in a relatively quick period of time. You know, if we want, someone wanted to put a duplex or a triplex, whatever would fit.
I mean, you're already sitting next to it, rather large, larger apartments
Yeah.
sitting there, so it
But just-
fits
And just doing that will require community
participation.
participation.
Yeah, and the reason I say wait a little bit, because if we're gonna have, any further discussion on a fire station, you know, that there was,
It's right
an
adjacent.
entrance put in off of First Avenue to get there.
Absolutely.
Okay, if that's no longer gonna be a fire station, there's no need for that little drive there,
Right.
which all of a sudden makes that lot a little bit bigger.
Sure.
Okay.
So what did I learn? Tear it out?
You learn, we're not resurfacing it, we're waiting until.
We're waiting until we make sure the tennis season is over and
Yeah.
that court's gonna go away.
Okay.
That's what I,
Sneaky little action there,
that's what I took out of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Or is the committee gonna come back with a recommendation to the full council to vote on?
Fine.
Just a thought.
That sounds a little more proper to me.
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
Good.
He earned his retainer today.
Meeting's not over.
No, that's fine. I think that's probably the problem.
And that's probably the right way because, like I just described, the committee had reduced the price. They didn't recommend taking it out, so probably go back to it.
Right.
So,
But what changed, can you refresh me? I probably was in on the meeting. But why did it go from 90 to 40? What was the improvement?
well, there's
that
different
changed?
levels of, there's different levels of resurfacing, okay? The top end resurfacing is to go in and fix the cracks and that stuff and just put a new surface on.
Okay.
The cheaper version is what we did out at Municipal last year, was not fixing the cracks, but just putting a new surface on. So that's why it went from the top end repair to the low end repair for the Westmore ones.
And that affects the lifespan of the repair.
Yeah, cracks will come through immediately with just a surface.
Right.
Um,
Band-Aid.
So that's what it is, it's just reduce the type of repair.
Okay.
And then I will mention, that's all I have, but I will mention this twig, branch, and grass site. I don't know if we've talked about this, maybe we talked about it in committee at one time, but the change that's gonna happen out there going forward is John Runcie used to be out there, you know, when we were open. He's since retired, so what will change is it'll still be staffed, but it'll be staffed by city employees. They'll take turns.
Different departments?
It'll be streets and public facilities.
Did you give those hours?
Did I? No.
He did that for the days.
Wednesday, 1 to 6, and Saturdays, 9 to 4.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you. Jacob, anything to finish up with?
Yep, I got a couple things today. Our audit, we just wrapped up last fiscal year, so June 30th is coming up again quick, and we were at the end of our audit period with Williams and Company. So we did send out for RFPs, requests for proposals. That went out last Friday, I think it was. And so firms have until the 21st to get back to us. And then the committee will kind of decide on a recommendation to go to council on May 2nd to decide who we're gonna go with for the next 3 years. And then the other thing is it's Greg Smith's last week with the city. He spent a lot of time with the city, so I just want to thank him for his time with the city and wish him all the best in retirement.
Thank you. Have a good retirement.
We give them like a titanium toothpick or anything?
That's awesome.
That'd been good.
Cool.
Thank you, Jacob. Mark?
Yeah, I just have, the guy that I know that rides the trail all the time was mentioning some pretty decent cracks right out by the dog park, down by the airport. So we just need to make sure the city crew kind of keeps an eye on that. He also mentioned that sometimes some of the actual city vehicles hauling concrete and things like that are partially on the trail. I think that's contributing to some of that. And then, Brian gave me a text that he had seen a semi parked on its side. Told him that he should report, but I think he followed up. I don't want to take it with, you know, the ignorance and that, so, anyway. That is all I got.
Was there talk of lights out at the tennis courts and pickleball courts at the golf course? Did those ever get improved, adjusted?
No, they're not going to.
Pardon me?
They're not going to.
Okay.
Sufficient. We looked at it, Brad looked at it. I have photos of it. I don't know how bright you want it.
Okay.
I did go out there last fall, I got a call, they were playing at night, and I concur. I'm not a player, and I think you're always gonna have shadows when you're playing at night, and I think that can get to be a bit confusing. But that was on my list too, thank you. But I thought we were gonna look at maybe adding a few cells to a couple of them. If I'm not mistaken, the ends coming in, not the sides coming. But maybe not, but it might be something, we could look at. It is a little bit of tweaking on the aiming, but that was on my list too. I didn't take away from you, keep going. That's all you needed. I'm gonna bring up a really bad subject, since I started off with a bad thumbs up. A few weeks ago, I suggested we vacate that street to Wellsville Bunny. Given the updates on what's gonna happen to our highway, and what I look to be not an improvement, I'd hate to vacate that too soon. That could end up being a very busy street.
Yeah, we haven't had any
Okay,
discussion
good.
so far.
Let's hold, because I'm very concerned about all these improvements up here on 3. They sound like a nightmare to me.
I don't know if they're gonna be done with this. I mean, it's currently closed because of the work that,
And we allow them that, and that's fine,
Yeah.
that's fine.
yeah. So I don't know when they're gonna be done with that, whether or not it's gonna be done
By August 1st.
by August.
I think what you're saying is that's gonna be the new route to Lincoln Street,
I think it's gonna be.
since you can't get to Lincoln from Highway 3 anymore.
You're gonna probably need to post a policeman and an ambulance there is what I'm thinking.
Kevin, Mike,
Because I think it's going to be
okay.
I'm very concerned about it, so, yeah, that's fine. Well, that's all I've got.
Brian?
I don't have anything.
Mike?
I guess I would point out, maybe it's kind of a thumbs up after all, but at lamarsiowa.com, above the header, there are 2 click on this things. One of them is, can be taken down, it has to do with odd even parking, so that's done. But the one that's new to me anyway is Lamar's Community Development Plan, read on, click. And information is now being populated on that, which is gonna be relevant for this month and going forward, for people to stay informed and learn details on how that plan is coming together, including information, not there yet, but soon, public meetings later this month. 26th, Mark?
Yeah, well, I'll have it out by the end of the week.
Okay. So, we can all watch it, but I encourage everyone to keep an eye on that. I imagine that's gonna be where we click while it's there, right above the header. Good stuff there.
As long as you mentioned odd even parking, that expired on April 1st. Chief, a good year for that?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the community for the cooperation this year. I think we ended up writing 450 parking tickets this year, which is actually pretty low, so but it is done.
Not according to those 450.
I know.
I believe I had 2 or 3.
That's not a good test.
Anything else?
Well, I didn't.
He's hoisting a
Children.
pork reducers.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, second? Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I need you guys to explain this thing.
Because you're not gonna be able to get onto Lincoln.